A gentle expedition into the heart of the elephant realm, written and read by the author, Kara Jones. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and imagine yourself stepping into a softly lit evening. The air is mild and quiet, carrying on its breeze the faint aroma of distant grasslands warmed by the day's sun. In the calm hush of this twilight, you find yourself preparing to journey across a wide savanna, a peaceful, dreamlike place where the horizon stretches endlessly, painted in hues of gold, lavender, and deepest blue. Here, under a canopy of stars, we will wander among the gentle giants of the wild, the elephants, while allowing their stories to guide our hearts. For the next little while, let all worries drift away like footprints in shifting sand. Curl up under a favorite blanket or lay your head softly on your pillow. Picture a moonlit safari, a secure and inviting place, where each step leads us closer to understanding the ancient wisdom of these majestic creatures have carried through generations. Allow yourself to be lulled by the soothing echoes of nature, and let us begin. In the hush of approaching night, the African savanna hums with secret life. Grasses sway in gentle waves as though beckoning you follow. The sky overhead darkens from pinkish orange into a velvety indigo. Far in the distance, you see silhouettes towering, broad shapes moving gracefully across the land. They are elephants traveling in silent procession, illuminated faintly by the moon. Each elephant's footfall stirs up small clouds of dust on the parched earth. Their steps are deliberate, patient. You might expect their immense bodies to make thunderous sounds, but in truth, they move with remarkable quiet. It is as if they respect the evening's calm, refusing to disturb the hush that nature has bestowed upon this twilight hour. You can almost hear the soft rumble that passes between these creatures, a low-frequency call that resonates in your chest more than your ears. It's as if they speak to each other through gentle vibrations, a language older than recorded history, carrying messages of comfort, warning, and belonging. Allow your thoughts to wander closer, stepping gently toward the herd. Notice their gatherings, females, young calves, and sometimes a wise matriarch who guides the group, her ears slightly tattered from many seasons of survival. They move on as one, an unspoken pact of unity weaving them together like threads in a grand tapestry. Elephants form deep family bonds, often referred to as herds, though it might be more apt to call them extended families. The oldest female typically leads, her years of knowledge crucial for finding waterholes during drought, or safe routes in times of danger. Through small gestures, a gentle brush of a trunk, a rumbling call, they communicate trust and reassurance to one another. It's a reminder to us that each member of a family plays a role, no matter how young or old. We realize in that moment how unity becomes both a shield and a home, protecting and nurturing every member. Observe one small calf, not more than a few months old, bumping into its mother's leg. The mother carefully shifts her weight, wrapping her trunk around the calf for a moment, as though offering encouragement. Elephants exhibit a profound capacity for care. a mutual instinctual empathy. This shared empathy is their strength, their collective will to survive. Feel your own heart soften as you watch these tender exchanges. It resonates with your own cherished memories of family or dear friends. How a single reassuring glance or a small hug can bring warmth even in the darkest moment. In that gentle hush, you sense that freedom is not merely about wandering alone, but sometimes about recognizing you're never alone in the first place. Shift your focus to the land itself, the African savanna, dry and vast. Scraggly bushes and tall golden grasses rustle in the wind. Sun-baked earth cracks underfoot, and the occasional acacia tree, with its thorny branches, stands as a testament to resilience. In the heat of the day, temperatures can soar, water can be scarce, and the wind can blow grit into every pore. Yet the elephant remain, year after year, century after century. For them, survival isn't a fortunate coincidence. It's a lifestyle perfected over generations. Their large ears function like built-in fans, flapping softly to help regulate body temperature in the blazing heat. Their thick wrinkled skin has adapted to the sun's intensity, and they coat themselves in dust or mud to ward off insects and keep cool. In the warmth of the late afternoon, you might witness an elephant slowly trudge toward a watering hole. Once there, it douses itself with trunkfuls of water, letting droplets cascade over its back. It's a moment of pure relief, a fleeting respite in a place where little can be taken for granted. Imagine the joy, the refreshment, the renewal. Elephants find solace in life's simple blessings, reminding us how important it is to pause and savor relief when it's found, whether that's a cool drink on a hot day or a moment of silence in a hectic schedule. Let your mind float to the broader environment these elephants inhabit. Though massive in stature, they move with a sense of duty toward the land. They break branches, uproot shrubs, and dig for water, all of which shape the landscape. Sometimes this very act creates pockets of resource for smaller creatures, an open water spot, or the scattering of seeds from half-chewed fruit. They are unwitting gardeners, reseeding the earth with each footstep, each trunk full of leaves playing an essential part in maintaining biodiversity. This role as environmental caretakers echoes through the ages, reminding us that we're all stewards of our surroundings. When we act with mindful respect for nature, recycling, conserving water, choosing sustainable products, we adopt the quiet wisdom of the elephant. We recognize that caring for Earth is in truth an act of caring for ourselves. Through our own conscious habits, we foster a sense of communal freedom, a gift we pass on to future generations. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. Are there small habits you can shift to honor the world around you? Perhaps planting a tree, starting a backyard garden, or reducing waste. Each step, like each slow stride of the elephant, can create ripples of change that nurture both our planet and our spirits. As the moonlight illuminates the subtle ridges in the elephant's face, you might wonder, how do creatures so enormous handle such complex social lives? Elephants form multi-layered relationships. Females tend to stay together in herds, while males gradually wander off about 15 years, forging their own paths or forming loose bachelor groups. In that departure, you sense a pivotal lesson about freedom. True freedom allows us to grow into ourselves, away from the familiarity of childhood, while still carrying the blessings of our roots. When a young male elephant leaves, it doesn't mean the bond with his family disappears. It means he's entrusted with forging new connections, new responsibilities, and a deeper sense of who he is apart from the herd. Reflect on that time in your own life when you branched off from safety of home, starting college, stepping into a new job, or moving into your own place. That bittersweet mix of anticipation and anxiety was, in its own way, a rite of passage. For elephants, that departure is an intrinsic part of life. For us, it can feel daunting, yet it's the very step that shapes our individuality. And oh, how beautiful to realize that freedom doesn't have to mean isolation. Just as the bull elephant crosses the savannah with confidence, sometimes visiting or reuniting with old allies, we too can form new friendships while still cherishing the loved ones we left behind. Freedom flourishes through both connection and individuality, a delicate balance that resonates deeply with our human hearts. Picture the blazing midday sun. An elephant trudges forward, trunk swaying from side to side. The swirling dust might coat its thick hide, but the journey continues regardless. This resilience, an unspoken vow to keep going, even when the path feels endless, mirrors a valuable trait in our own lives. Have you ever had a moment where progress felt impossible, where you were tempted to give in or give up because the road ahead looked far too challenging? In those times, think of the elephant. Their entire being is built around patience, endurance, and adaptability. They do not sprint across the terrain. They conserve energy, move steadily, and trust they will find the resources needed to survive. In your day-to-day life, resilience can manifest in small forms, showing kindness when you feel tired, persisting in a project despite setbacks, or learning to adapt after an unexpected obstacle. Each time you mirror the elephant's calm, steady stride across the savannah. There is a quiet power in refusing to be hurried by the chaos of the world, choosing instead a slow, intentional path. Take a moment to recall the text's gentle comparison to Jesus, who walked on this earth with unwavering purpose. Though an elephant's life might seem worlds away from the life of the first century teacher and healer, there is an interesting parallel: the clarity and resolve to continue one's mission, regardless of the challenges ahead. Elephants do not deviate much from their ancient migratory patterns. With each coming season, they press forward to watering holes used for decades, if not centuries, guided by instinct and memory passed down. We too can hold on to a sense of mission, like Jesus did, if we remain aligned with our deepest convictions. Whether that mission is to serve, to nurture, to create, or to learn, determination propels us onward. Here you might reflect, what is my sense of purpose? Where is my personal migration leading me? And how can I, like these steadfast elephants, keep walking forward, even when a thirst or dryness of spirit challenges me? Rest in that question a moment, letting it settle like quiet footprints in your mind. As you continue strolling through the moonlit safari, you notice other creatures stirring, a gazelle leaping lightly, a hyena. The elephants seem aware of all these lives swirling around them. They do not try to isolate themselves from the broader web of life. Quite the opposite, they cooperate with environmental rhythms, forging a reciprocal relationship that benefits all. Consider how these principles apply to your own habitat. whether it's a neighborhood, a workplace, or a circle of friends. We might not always choose who we share our community with, but every individual has a role. Just as elephants do not disregard the smaller animals, we too flourish when we acknowledge and support others, neighbors, co-workers, even acquaintances. Each one is a part of a grand tapestry that sustains our sense of belonging. In forging these social ecosystems, freedom arises not from ignoring those around us, but from realizing that our well-being is tethered to theirs. The empathy and collaboration that elephants display remind us that unity, ironically, can lead to greater individuality and freedom. When we know we have the backing of our herd, we dare to step into bold new territories. Let your attention drift to one particular elephant, a male, perhaps on the cusp of 15 years old. He stands a little apart from the main herd, ears perked through listening for a silent call. This stage of his life is marked by curiosity, a stirring in his mind that suggests he's ready to depart the security of his family. You watch him take a few tentative steps away, glancing back occasionally, unsure yet determined. It's a pivotal crossroads. In a short while he will leave the group, forging a path that belongs solely to him. He might join other young males, or he might wander alone for a time. Eventually, he'll carve out his own domain, all the while remembering the lessons learned from those early protected years. As you picture his slow, measured march into the savannah, reflect on how many times in life you've had to make a familiar leap. Perhaps you parted ways with close friends after school, or left their hometowns for the promise of new opportunities. It can be bittersweet, a mixture of longing for familiar comfort and excitement for personal growth. This young elephant's journey shows us that freedom, while exhilarating, also carries responsibility. It means forging alliances that match your new direction, discovering who you are outside of the context you once knew, and shouldering the task of survival on your own terms. Such a path fosters courage and self-discovery. It highlights that leaving home or comfort behind is not an act of betrayal, but an act of unfolding destiny, a stepping stone to deeper fulfillment. Standing at the respectful distance, you appreciate how this quiet scene resonates with human life. The elephants have taught you about the power of community, the necessity of compassion, the resilience needed to survive harsh landscapes, and the duty to care for the environments, personal growth found in forging your own path. Just like them, we have families, some chosen, some we're born into. We rely on shared emotional support, passing down wisdom from one generation to the next. We all, in our own ways, leave behind the safety of childhood or certain phases of life to discover who we are apart from what we once knew. In that parallel, we find comfort, no matter how large or small, how wild or civilized. Life is a tapestry woven from threads of love, independence, challenge, and growth. As you let these truths sink in, you might feel a stirring of gratitude for the intricate design of life that allows all beings to be both wondrously unique and intimately connected. The elephants remind us that freedom is not about solitary wandering, devoid of ties, but about living authentically, guided by wisdom, nurtured by empathy, and strong in one's self-worth. Now, imagine the night growing quieter still, the bright moon nearing the end, the elephants shift, some settling in restful postures, others standing vigil. A soft breeze carries a hint of coolness across the land. You take a slow, deep breath, inhaling the spirit of this moment, a mixture of contentment, awe, and a gentle determination to bring these lessons into your daily life. Reflect on the freedom you've glimpsed tonight, the freedom of forging your own path while still cherishing community, the freedom of emotional intelligence and compassion, the freedom that blossoms when we acknowledge all responsibility to the world around us. These wild insights revealed in the lives of elephants echo timeless truths about who we are and who we might become. Breathe in once more, let your shoulders relax. If you're curled up under a blanket, feel the warmth wrapping around your body. If your eyes are closed, you might see the faint outlines of elephants crossing your mind's eye. A reminder of tonight's journey. The granular resilience and empathy whisper softly. Keep seeking, keep learning, keep walking forward, even in uncertain times. Your own pursuit of freedom, whatever that means personally, can be guided by these gentle giants. As you drift closer to sleep, you may find your dreams filled with expansive horizons, shimmering grasses, and slow, purposeful footfalls that soothe you like a lullaby. In that dreamscape, you might discover the renewed courage to face life's challenges, just as the elephants do, step by steady step. If your eyelids feel heavy now, let them close completely. Visualize an elephant herd fading softly into the distance, outlined under starlight, led by a wise and watchful matriarch. Each heart in that herd beats with the same rhythms: love, unity, the drive to press on. In your heart, a sense of peace blossoms, knowing that you too are part of a larger community of souls, each learning to navigate the terrain of life. These final moments are yours to savor. Let the day's burdens float away, replaced by the gentle understanding that nature's lessons are endless, and we are invited to learn from them each day. Perhaps you will carry forward the concept of empathy tomorrow, or a spirit of patient resilience. Perhaps you will hold the image of the young bull elephant forging a new path as a reminder of your own quest for growth. With one last gentle exhale, you anchor these wild insights into your mind and spirit. If you feel tension slip from your forehead, your jaw, your shoulders, embrace that relief. This is your time of rest, of integrating what you've discovered. With each slow breath, the weight of the world becomes lighter, and you drift toward the calm, restoring shores of sleep. At the edge of your consciousness, imagine dawn gradually breaking over the savannah. The sky lightens from the deep indigo to pale gold. The elephants stir, stirring up small puffs of dust. They carry on, drawn by instinct to find fresh grazing fields or the next watering hole. Their day begins anew, a rhythm that has persisted for centuries. And so to do, does your journey continue day by day. May the memory of this moonlit safari, walking alongside these majestic animals and spirits, stay with you. May you find the courage to stand tall in the face of challenges, to honor the bonds of family and friends, and to see the world through a lens of compassion. May you treasure your personal freedom while understanding that life is fullest when shared in community. For now, let the gentle hum of the night lull you into peaceful slumber. The elephants in their grand silence keep watch over your dreams, guiding you toward the profound freedom that arises when we live in harmony with ourselves, our loved ones, and our world. And in that sacred stillness you rest, heart open, spirit calm, until the new day dawns once more. Sleep well, dear listener, and take these wild insights with you wherever you roam.